Okay, so once you have let the glue dry, so it's like solid overnight, you've went over all the lines with everything, then you are ready to paint it with the acrylic paint. So I've just kind of grabbed some colors. You're going to want some water because it's a little bit easier if it's a little watered down because you're going to be covering space in a quick amount of time. I find that it's easier to have like a flat brush because you're going to be coming from the lines and going over the glue. So you're just going to take your paint and you're just going to quickly, now see how it's scratchy? It's fine to go over the glue. If you want it to blend, you can kind of go over it with the water. But you kind of want to use those lines as a wall. If you want it more bright, then you're just going to add more water, or not less water. If you want it to be more watery or have like a look of a watercolor, you will not use as much water. Now see, I'm going right over those glue dots that I have. You can see these dots right here. I'll go right over them with the paint because they will not take that paint. Now, I'm staying out of those eyes that I did. I have that little border that I did with the glue, but I'm going to go ahead and stay out of those just because I wanted it black and I didn't want to color that in. So you just kind of do your painting like this here. All those dots, I just wanted to have dots. I'm just going to go over them. Now, areas that I want to have color, a different color, I might use like a different brush, like this flower right here. And we want it to be like a purpley red. So I'm gonna go back in, paint it. And I would use your lines of glue, but if you go over it, it's not a big thing because you're gonna keep your edge because of that glue line itself. And if you wanted to like kind of double load your brush to get kind of a different look, it's fine to do. But you're just going to paint and fill your areas as you go, and you'll just paint the whole thing. You'd paint each section. Then in order to have the edge that you would want for around it, so you do your inside space. But then to do your edge, to have like your edge around here, you're gonna have to go with another color. So if you're wanting to do that edge and you're wanting it to be a certain color, you're gonna have to take that paint and you're gonna have to go along the edge and paint out from there so that you have another color to go with it. So if I was doing here and I wanted to have like a lighter edge around here, I would have to do another edge and kind of fade it, because otherwise you're not going to see that edge line but from the black here. You want to have another edge line that goes around to give yourself a line from your color, your black line, to the edge of your area. So that would be like your background color. So you would just go in and do all your coloring, pick and choose however you want. They were very bright and colorful, so you could do one layer, and as it dries, if you feel like it needs to be a little lighter, you could go back in and add some more or do another layer, which is fine. Again, you don't have to stick to those glue lines because it won't stick in there, but you don't want to get too crazy because then it'll overlap into your next color. So that's the step. Once you have it all painted, you'll want to have it sit overnight just so the painting sets, because this is acrylic paint, so it's a permanent paint once it sets, but you want to make sure it has a good dry time to set. Then we will take the shirt, put it in a hot bath for like 20 minutes, and then your glue starts to dissolve. You may have to rub it together a little bit to get the thicker pieces off if you have some areas where it's on pretty thick. And then you'll dry it. You can dry it in a hot, like a hot dryer, or just hang it to dry, and then you'll have your finished shirt.